You know that feeling when you read something and within a few sentences, you can just tell, yo, AI wrote this. The rhythm's off, every paragraph kind of hits the same, and the conclusions are always neat and tidy. Copy doesn't have any edge, feels a little flat. And that's what the most AI marketing teams are producing right now. Now, I have nearly 20 years running marketing programs, most of that at Fortune 500s, and I had to manage real budgets with real revenue on the line and deal with executives who would shut you down for a one-off brand sentence. So when I started seeing all these, I built an AI marketing team of 16-minute videos. I tried what they were teaching, but the output wasn't exactly what a real marketer would ship. So I sat back and I had to rebuild it from scratch. And as a marketing team, I actually trust to put the work to scratch that. So let's start. So I had to rebuild that from scratch with an output that I would actually put in front of a chief marketing officer. So that's what I'm walking you through today. There are 5 roles and the setup's all inside Claude AI. And the part that everybody skips is the reason my team doesn't sound like AI. Stick around for role 2. That's the one that nobody talks about and why this entire team really works well. Okay, a couple weeks ago, scrolling through the YouTube and I see a video. I built an entire AI marketing team with Claude in 16 minutes. It got 167,000 views and I watched the whole thing. This guy spins up AI agents and he calls it a marketing team. Then he generates a blog post, an email, and some social copy. The output is a 5-paragraph essay you would find on any written blog from 2025. It's generic, no real voice, and more importantly, no real point of view. Now, I get why this video did 176,000 views. I mean, Claude AI is hot, the title's clean, and people really want to believe that the AI agents could do all this work. But if I had to put that output in front of my marketing VP on a Tuesday, man, she'll look at me like I lost my mind. And all these videos have one thing in common. They're built by people who've never actually shipped marketing work. Now, they know how to code an agent, but they don't know what a marketing brief has to clear before it actually ships. Real marketing teams aren't an army of agents firing off prompts. They're built like a real department, have real roles, a real brand voice. There's a quality bar and somebody in charge of strategy before anybody even writes a single word. So I've got 5 roles and I'll be honest about which Claude crushes and which still kind of need a human. If I lied to you about that, then I'm just another one of these YouTube guys. And once we get to role 2, you'll see exactly why the YouTube tutorials produce hot garbage, because they skip this role entirely. Role 1 is the strategist. Most people building AI marketing teams start with the writer. That's wrong. You don't start with the person who types the words. You start with the person who decides what to type and why. In Claude, I'm using a project. The reason a project matters is that it lets you load reference material once and Claude keeps it for every single conversation. Inside this project, I've loaded the brand's positioning doc, the ICP, and a handful of past briefs that actually worked. I've also loaded a 1-page document that defines what a strong brief looks like for us. Custom instructions tell Claude its role. You are a marketing strategist. Your job is to translate business goals into briefs. The constraints so that you only recommend tactics you can actually execute. And the last part that matters, most AI output is bad because it doesn't ask any questions before trying to provide answers. Watch what happens before it gives me a brief. It asks, what's the audience? What's the offer? What's the timeline? What's the metric? That's how a real strategist works. They scope the problem first. Oh, and look, here's the brief it gave me. The audience is sharp, messages tied to a real insight, the channels are reasonable, and the KPIs are actually measurable. I would take this into a real meeting. If you don't build the strategist first, every other role is generating fluent garbage. Strategy is the constraint that makes the rest of the work good. Now role 2, the role that 99% of these videos skip. And this is the difference between AI slop and content that actually sounds like a brand. Brand voice lead. If you only take one thing from this video, take this. The reason AI marketing content sounds like AI is that nobody taught it what a specific brand sounds like. They just asked Claude to write a LinkedIn post. Of course it sounds generic. You gave it nothing. A real marketing team doesn't work that way. At a Fortune 500, brand voice is something we spent decades and millions of dollars protecting. There's a tone of voice doc, a vocabulary list. We say this, we don't say that guide. Claude actually needs the same thing. So I created a separate file, the brand voice lead. Its only job is to hold the brand voice standard and review it on every piece of copy against it. Okay, so load up the 5 best performing pieces of content your brand has ever published. Give it a 1-page voice guide about tone and what to say and some sentences of what is right versus what is wrong. Give it a vocabulary list of words that you use, and in real cases, give it a list of words that you've banned. 2 jobs. 1, when I ask for a copy, write it in this voice. 2, when I paste in someone else's draft, like point out where it's off brand. Okay, watch this. Standard AI output going in, look at what comes back. It flags in today's fast-paced world. That's a bad phrase. It flags the over-polished closing. It's too neat. It rewrites 3 sentences so they actually sound like us. Now, this role doesn't exist in any of those YouTube tutorials, and it's the reason the work I produce on Claude doesn't read like it's AI necessarily. Now, every piece of copy goes through this filter before anyone else ever sees it. And if you copy one thing from this video, copy that. Build the brand voice lead after the strategy. Everything else will get a little sharper. Now, here's the role most people start with first, and they shouldn't: the copywriter. Copywriter's role 3. Now we can write. We've got a strategist telling us what to write and a brand voice telling us how it should sound. The copywriter executes. Take a brief from the strategist, produce copy. Always run the output through the brand voice filter before handing back. Same documents loaded to the voice lead. It's a list of formats it's responsible for: emails, landing pages, copy, and social posts. Now I can take the brief the strategist produced, drop it in, and get 3 subject line variants and a 150-word email body for that spring campaign. Now stop and look, and Claude can get it about 80% there. Some of the subject lines are a little too clever. The email open might be a little generic. The CTA probably could be a little sharper. So I can push back. Give me, say something like subject line 3 is trying too hard. Give me a flatter version. So Claude is not your copywriter. Claude is a fast first draft. You, the marketer, is still the editor. Skip that step and you ship hot garbage. Speed is the point. 2 hours of staring at a document becomes 20 minutes of editing. Now role 4, the social manager. Social is volume. Think calendar, like post copy. Variations across LinkedIn, X, Instagram. Now for this, you load the same brand voice docs, but it has one specific job. Take any long form piece of content and break it down into smaller form content to spread across social platforms. Now, each platform has its own format guide, so you're gonna have to load in that to the platform first. Now, pasting in a 1,500 word blog, I could paste it in and say, give me a week of social posts, 3 LinkedIn posts, and 5 X posts with 2 Instagram captions, and Claude can go ahead and generate that. 90 seconds later, I've got a full week of content across multiple channels. And I can use the same rules, kind of spot check it and edit out. I can cut what's weak and tighten up what's too long. All the material's there. Like I said, Claude is your first draft and it can get you there very quickly. Now, what used to be a Friday night afternoon ritual of the job would be stare at the blog post, try to pull out 3 quotes, and write a LinkedIn post for that. Hate it, then rewrite it, and then 3 hours later, I might have a workable post. Now, fast forward today, using Claude AI, I can get 10 posts in about 15 minutes. Then I can spend the rest of actual Friday on strategy. And that's the trade. Now, the last role, and the one that closes the loop and makes the team get much smarter over time. This is the performance analyst. Every AI marketing team I've seen on YouTube ends with the writer, not the analyst. So their team produces work, ships it, and never ever learns what happened. And that's not a marketing team, that's just a content factory. So for the 5th folder and role you want to have is the performance analyst. You want to drop in actual campaign numbers into this one. Open rates, impressions, conversions, whatever you have. And it tells you what worked and what didn't work and how to test everything. Now, every insight goes back into the strategist reference document as a kind of what we learned file. Okay, now this is what the team does and what it doesn't replace. So I'll told you and I'll be honest, here it is. This is what the team does well. First drafts, repurposing, and voice consistency. It could do performance analysis and it could do brief writing. Now, these are the kind of menial tasks or kind of mundane tasks that used to eat up a good portion of my week. Now, here's what it can't do. Claude does not have taste. It doesn't know when a campaign idea is wrong or even when it looks right on paper. Knowing the executive, Claude doesn't know the executive in the room who is about to kill it and how to write around that. It doesn't know when a piece of copy is technically correct, but lacks that. All that is still you. You're still the marketer. And anybody who tells you Claude can replace that has never actually run marketing. What Claude gives you back simply is time. Time so you can put that into the part of marketing only humans can do. Strategy, creativity, taste, and judgment. And that's the win. Not the I will replace my team. It's I built a team that gives me my Tuesdays back so I can focus on the work that actually matters. One question, which of the 5 roles would save you the most time right now? The strategist, the brand voice, the copywriter, or the social analyst? Drop it in the comments. I read every one. That's it. 5 roles with 1 operator running the show.